we were discussing on page 129, Pay-ee-arhai Dhan bharm bhulani, doojee lagi fir pashtaani, halat palat dove gavaa-i-aa, supne sukh na paavni-aa. Pay-ee-arhai means father's house, where you were born. What that has to do with us? Spirituality says this earth is like your father's house. And who's the father? The master, the guru, the teacher, the spiritual guide. That's the father. Because what is father's role? Raise the child with good qualities, good characteristics. Why are the good characteristics necessary? Because the girl cannot spend the entire life in her parents' house. Not possible. Well, why not? Those of you who do gardening, you have experienced this, that there are certain plants, they have to be planted at one spot, and after they grow a little, they have to be uprooted from there and re-implanted in another spot. Why do we do that? Every gardener knows if that plant is left at the original spot, it will die. It will not grow to be fruitful. A girl is like that plant. If that girl is going to become fruitful, she has to be uprooted from where she was first planted, uprooted and replanted, which is what the wedding ceremony is, which is what the marriage is. The marriage means the girl is being uprooted from where she was originally and now being planted at the husband's house. There she will grow. There she will become fruitful. There she will become a mother. But a girl cannot become a mother sitting in her father's house. Nature's law. It's not a man-made law. That is the spiritual reason for the institution of marriage. Institution of marriage demands that once that girl, that plant is planted, it should hold roots. Why? Because if she doesn't hold root, she cannot take care of the offspring. She needs to be centered now. That is why in our social environment we know that once the couple starts raising a family, now everything revolves around the schedule of the children. Moving from one house to the other because of one job or the other, because of this or the other, is not allowed. Even if the man needs to move ship will move, but the mother will stay rooted for the sake of the children. It's a very common sense observation. Those who wonder, where did this institution of marriage come from? Why? How did it evolve? It's not a social construct. It's not a social contract. It is not a physical contract. It's not an economic contract. It is a spiritual contract. But unfortunately, all we tell at the time of the marriage, be faithful to each other. And that's enough. The whole of the clergy focuses on the physical. Clergy is focused on the physical. The female is focused on the economic. And the male doesn't care about the economy. He is also only concerned about the physical. At the dating time, male is looking at the body and the female is looking at the pocket. End of discussion. What a sad story. They don't talk to each other about higher levels. What are your moral values? What are your ethical values? What are your spiritual ideas? What they talk about? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What you want to be? How much money? How big a house? How many children? And that has nothing to do with the institution of marriage. Absolutely nothing. Because you don't need any one of them to bring another human being into this planet. If there was a social taboo 50 years or 100 years ago, today, if there was any stigma attached with it in the past, today the female proudly displays her belly. I am not married, but I am having a child. Institutional marriage disappeared. Why? Because the spirituality disappeared. The entire universe is confused. Because this teaching is not coming from the parent. And who's the parent for spirit? Once again, the teacher, the guru, the master, the one who has been there. But we don't go there. We don't look for a spiritual guide for our children. Why? Because we never had one ourselves. Did we? Did our parents say to us, you go to this school to learn mathematics, but you spend 1 hour with this person? He is your guru. This one is going to teach you how to make money. This one is going to teach you how to spend it. Making money becomes okay, spending we don't know. So what happens then? We get the kind of society we are living in. So message last week was Pay-ee-arhai Dhan at a father's house, total confusion. Why? Because we are not living with the spiritual father at all. We don't know. We don't have one. We don't look for it. We are not starving for it. We only know that something is missing here. I wake up every day. I do all the things that my mother, my father taught me. But something is still missing. What is that something is still missing? I can't put my finger on it, but something is missing. I feel incomplete, unhappy. dissatisfied. Something is nagging from inside. I can't put my thumb on it, my finger on it. What's going on? Would somebody help me? If you don't know the answer, today is the answer for you. You are going spiritually bankrupt. That's what's nagging you. That is what is eating you. Your belly is full. Your skin is properly room temperized. If it's hot, you know how to cool it. If it's cool, you know how to heat it. Your body is covered with the proper clothes. Okay, so body is taken care of. I'm not hurting, I'm not sick. Nobody is bothering me. I have no enemies. I don't owe anybody any money. Still, something is eating from inside. What is that? That is your spirit nagging you from inside. You are not doing something that you are supposed to do. This body was given to you for more than just being a social animal. Rest of the religions, no exception to that rule, they all tell you, be a good social animal. There is no other topic. There is no other subject. What happens then? Pay-ee-arhai Dhan, father's house. Dhan means the feminine energy. Bhar means stays in doubt. Bhulani means is totally lost. This is a statement about every single one of us and every single one out there in the entire world, regardless of what is your belief system. It doesn't matter. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Christian, doesn't matter. Everyone has this question. What is eating me up? Many times our children will look at our face and say, Dad, why are you so quiet? What are you thinking? Nothing, son. Oh, come on, please tell me. No, really, son, if I knew, I would tell you. It is the same conversation between husband and wife. What's going on, honey? Nothing. Which is very true. Nothing. The head is blank. There are no thoughts. What are you thinking? Nothing. Oh, come on. Don't keep secrets from me. I'm your wife. Share it with me. But really, nothing. And that's a common dialogue. Day and night. One says, I look at your face, something is going on. The other says, nothing is going on. Today, we provide you with the answer. Take it and keep it with you. Anytime you are uneasy, your spirit is pinching you from inside and saying, are you doing for what you were born? And the answer is no. I'm living like a cat, a dog, a bull, a cow, but I'm not living like a human for what this body was given. This body was given to evolve spiritually. Physically you will grow, you cannot stop it. You will age, you will fall sick, you will become healthy. There's nothing you can do to the body. Whatever it is going to go through, it will go through. The only area that you should have focused is the only area that's missing. That is not on your list. Somebody sent me an email today and said, I really don't want to hurt you, but you are still on my list. That means I can expect that hurt someday. Spirituality is not even on our list. Antar, to do things. Pay-ee-arhai Dhan banaavani-aa. And when you go away from the spirituality, then remember, nature does not allow vacuum. It abhors vacuum. Just as the pressure falls and the air rushes in and the storm comes, because there was a vacuum there. There was a low pressure there. Water will run down to the lower, it will not stop till it has found the lowest level. If the spirituality is missing from your life, nature will rush in to fill in with something. And what is that something? Doojaa lagi phir pachatani. You get more attached with the outside. Whatever is the vacuum in the inside is filled with the things. We even have a saying, one with the more toys wins. So what do? We collect toys. Don't we? The ladies can appreciate that. Anytime they feel little uneasy, let's go shopping. Isn't it? Let's pick up the car and go shopping. And what do the men do? Oh, let's go to the Fry's Electronics and find the latest gizmo. Isn't it? And let's go buy a new car. If both are of the same mind, let's go buy a new home. Collect more toys. Because the answer is still not there. So they buy the new car or new toys. Now what to do with it? It brings its own set of problems. And that very mild burning inside still continues. Doojaa lagi phir pachatani. So you thought buying a new car will completely smother this fire inside. It is still there. Then what do? You regret. You repent. My God, this didn't fix it. Okay, let's go on vacation. So you book a vacation for 3 days or for 3 weeks, for 3 months. You disappear. The day you walk back in the home, you are back to square one. Oh, damn. What did I do? I only postponed it. I didn't solve it. That only brings more repentance. Pachotani, regrets. Okay, one more lesson learned. And we write it down. Now I know going on vacation doesn't help the inner fire. Fine, what are you going to do now? Well, next time I will change the country. Not getting to the root of the problem. Would you go to that doctor again who doesn't know what is bothering you? Wouldn't you change the doctor? That he doesn't know what to treat. But since we are our own doctors, how to change? And we keep on struggling. And in that struggle, halad palad dove gavaa-i-aa. This life goes in struggle. That life, nothing has been done for it. Both are lost. Halad palad. Halad means here. Palad means over there. Dove. Both of them gavaa-i-aa, lost, wasted. Supane sukh na paavni-aa. Supane means dreams, literally dreams. You do not experience the bliss even in your dreams, much less in your waking life. Okay, now we have stated the problem. Is there a solution to this? Of course there is a solution to this. A mystic does not tell you are doing this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. A teacher does. Teacher will tell you what you are doing wrong. When you give the paper, he will mark it out and say, this answer was wrong, this answer was wrong, this answer was wrong. But a master will sit you down and say, next time when this question comes, this is how to remember the correct answer. And you better sit down here and practice the solution. Don't run home because you're going to forget again. Stay here, memorize this solution. A teacher doesn't do. He marks your paper and sends you home and say, give this card to your parents. Why? Because this is parents' responsibility now, not mine. See the difference between a teacher and a master? Anybody remembers that list? Difference between a teacher and a guru? Go look that up. And if you don't have a guru yet, don't have a master yet, go find one. Look for it. Because that will tell you what? Pay-ee-arhai Dhan kant samaalay. This is the answer. You don't start thinking of your husband when you go to the husband's house. You start thinking of your husband when you are at your parents' house. That is where you will ask the right question. You will ask the guru, here, whatever I do, my parents like it. Would my husband also like this habit? And if he doesn't like this habit, what are the habits that he will like? What is the behavior that he would like? You start preparing. But we don't talk. We don't ask these questions. You ask any mother today, have you raised your daughter properly? Of course. She knows how to cook, how to clean. How to take care of the house. What else there? She is educated, she can do a job and make money. It never occurs to the parents, what if the husband doesn't need the money? What if the husband doesn't like this type of cooking? Is she flexible enough to learn the new cooking according to the husband's likes? Take this physical example and now transpose it on the spiritual dimension. Are our actions acceptable to him? Are we making the choices that he likes? This is our Father's house. This is where we need to think about that and ask that question with every single action we take. Will this action get me closer to him or further away from him? This is my practice house. This is my Father's house. Before I get to my husband's house, I need to learn that and practice it here and now. But if the mother says, don't worry about it, he'll get used to your cooking. If he doesn't like it, tell him to go eat outside. Would that wife, would that husband get closer or we have just put the foundation down for them to drift slowly, slowly, slowly apart. Indians would relate with this very much. In India, we tell the girl, consider your mother-in-law as your mother. Is that possible? Have we thought through it? Can the mother-in-law be like the mother? Answer is absolutely not. Under no circumstances a mother-in-law can behave like a mother. Well, that's a very radical statement. No, it's not radical. It's reality. I'll prove it to you. When a girl is at father's house, and every mother who has a daughter will relate with that. When the brother starts bothering the sister, who do you think the mother sides with? Daughter, is it not? Hey, stop bothering her. She's not going to be with you for the rest of your life. But mom, she's taking undue advantage. Well, so what? She's your sister. You are supposed to favor her, protect her, take care of her. And even if she takes undue advantage, it's only for a temporary state. Is it not? Now, if she takes this habit, she gets used to it and take it to the in-law's house, can the mother-in-law also says, this daughter-in-law my favorite, so let everybody go to her? No, she can't do that. If she has 5 sons, she has 5 daughter-in-laws. She has to balance all of them. Sometimes she will tell the older, she's the younger one. You have a big heart. Sacrifice. And sometimes she will come to the younger one and say, she's older than to you. You're supposed to respect her. You see, a daughter, when becomes a daughter-in-law, cannot implement what she has learned at the parents' house. Cannot. She has to listen to the mother, because the mother is trying to balance 5 daughter-in-laws depending upon the situation. Which is what happens here. If I am born a Sikh and I am in a certain way, and you are born a Hindu and you are in a certain way, when we both get to our husband, what's going to happen? Who is he going to listen to? Sometimes he's going to tell the Hindu, that doesn't work here. You better change. And sometimes he's going to tell the Sikh, this doesn't work here. You better change. But here, when I go to my guru, he says, this is the way the Sikh is supposed to be. That's okay. And when she goes to her guru, he says, this is how a Hindu is supposed to be. You are right. Isn't it the same thing? The same law, socially applied, is the same law, spiritually applied. A girl cannot impose a parent's philosophy on the in-laws, and the one who insists on applying it destroys the household. Which is what is happening. Every religion is trying to apply their law onto the other religion and fighting and arguing. Okay, this is your parents' house, go ahead. You live like it. This is my parents' house, let me live like it. My parents' house is better than yours, so I'm going to force my laws on you. Judaism does that, Christianity does that, Islam does that, everybody does that. My father's house has a better rules, I am going to impose it on you. So where do you learn all of that? You learn it here and now. Pay-ee-arhai Dhan kant samaalay. Think about the husband while you are at father's house. And if you do that, then the Guru will guide you properly. Then the Guru knows that you are really interested in decorating properly your husband's house. You want to stay there forever. You don't want to come back. Because what happens when a husband and wife fights? Again, Eastern culture. Wife is told, go back to your parents. West doesn't understand that, because here the wife says, I am on my own, I can make my own living, you go that way, I go that way. In Indian culture that doesn't happen. The girl is sent back to the parents' house. Now parents have the same problem again, because they cannot keep the daughter. Daughter cannot be fruitful living with the father's house. She has to be sent back to the husband. So they negotiate, they settle the things and send her back, but within a few months she starts fighting and doing the same thing again, send it back again. Which is what will happen to us. We'll go there, we haven't learned the right thing to make the husband happy. He's going to say, go back, go to your father's house again. Another birth, you're back. That's what the cycle of life and death is. You cannot stay there forever unless you have learned the every single behavior that pleases the husband, the Lord. The husband, the creator of all of us. And what makes the husband happy? Just like me. Be like me. Think like me. Behave like me. Act like me. You can stay with me. Is that different than a husband in this dimension and a husband in that dimension? Is it different? But what the modern woman says, why should I be like him? He should be like me. But sweetheart, I didn't make these rules. I didn't assign the responsibilities of a woman or of a man. This is how the creation is designed. You are a seed which becomes fruitful only in my house. Hence, there are certain obligations that go with it. Oh, that's male chauvinistic attitude. No, it isn't. It would be a male chauvinistic attitude if male was writing these laws. Only you will bear the children, only you will nurture the children, only you will raise the children, only you will teach the children. The children are not taught the father's tongue. Children are taught mother tongue. I didn't make this law. How is male chauvinistic? How am I controlling the society? Now, if you are going to fight the nature, wait, when you go up there, take the issue with him, not with me. If you can change the law, you can ask him to change his mind. All the power to you. Till he doesn't change the law, it is his law, and thy will be done. Many times I have asked this question to the ladies who went on New York Times Square and burned their bras. And I asked them, did you burn your chest also with it? Because bra is not which is making you a woman. It is a false notion. It is anti-spiritualism. Male and female have specific role assigned to him, to them, to us by our Creator. And we are bound by those laws. So if you accept the Creator's rules, then what happens? Pirke sahj rahe rang raatee, sabad singaar, banaavani-aa. Gur parsaadee vaykhai naalay. Pay-ee-arhai Dhan, kant samaalay-English, gur parsaadee vaykhai naalay. Then the Guru teaches you the right thing. And once you learn the right thing, pirke sahj rahe rang raatee. Now you become the favorite one. You become the dear one, the real one. Look in the social life. Those of the ladies who are here living with their mother-in-law who has more than one son, that means more than one daughter-in-law, they know that. Because the mother-in-law also ends up with a favorite daughter-in-law. Now you can get as much jealous as you want. Mother-in-law is not going to change. Why? Ask her what pleases you. If you are not the favorite daughter-in-law and you want to be mother-in-law as the favorite daughter-in-law, then ask her, why are you favoring her and not me? And you do not need a PhD to solve this puzzle. The one whose favorite is doing everything that pleases the mother-in-law. Who's his favorite? Whosoever pleases him. Who's making every choice according to his will. Even the Jesus Christ, right on the cross, eventually had to make the right choice. After complaining, "Oh Father, why have thou forsaken me?" Still a complaint. And what was the ultimate? How did he please him? Thy will be done. The last drop of the ego, which was still alive to be glorified by some miracle in the sky, that last fraction also died and submitted, thy will be done. That's when the Christianity was born. That's when Christ was born. Prior to that, he was Jesus. That's what pleases him. Thy will be done. So if you get to that stage, pirke sahj rahe rang raatee. Pir means the husband. Now you can live in complete bliss in his house. Shabd singaar banaavani-aa. Now you are ready to all of your makeups and decorations and making yourself pretty and desirable, because he has now accepted you in his house. Those who are able to do this, safal janam jinaa satgur. The successful life is who has actually discovered, found and met the Creator through the grace and help of their master, their Guru. They have done what? Doojaa bhaa-o guru shabd bulaya. Guru shabd jalaa-i-aa. The attachment with the other. Who's the other? The outside creation. The life outside. Life of senses. 5 sensual pleasures, they slowly only become utilitarian. Now you do not live to eat, you just eat to live. Now the food is not anymore your weakness, it is a need. You only eat and as much as satisfy the pangs and the cravings of the hunger. You are not eating because the tongue is saying, this is a tasty one, go get another one. That go get another one, let me take another helping, comes from the tongue, not from the stomach. Stomach needs very few calories per 24 hours. Suddenly, the wish and the need starts balancing. You start asking your question, am I doing this because I need it? Or am I doing this because I want it? You start eliminating the wants and start supporting only the needs. And while you are feeding the needs of the body, you are completely conscientious about the need of the spirit. That one is which is keeping you alive and moving. And you find the food for that spirit also. And feed just as you daily eat, sleep, drink, so do daily feed the spirit. Which is what we call your daily meditation. Is once a week okay? Is once a week eating okay? How can that be? Well, okay. You answer your own question then. If once a week eating is not okay, then once a week meditating is not okay. Is 5 minutes okay? Is just 1 cup of tea daily is okay? Now hold it. I need more than 1 cup of tea. You just answered your question then. You need more than 5 minutes of meditation. doojaa bhaa-o shabd jalaa-i-aa, ayko rahi-aa ghat antar mil satsangat har gun gaavani-aa. Now you look for the opportunities and excuses to be in a company like this, where only he remains, everything else disappears. All other thoughts come to a standstill at a single point. Only his thought remains. And you look for such opportunities, such company. Mil satsangat. Satsangat. Sangat means the group, the crowd, the gathering. Sat means the truth. Where only truth is taught, truth is shared, truth is discussed, and the truth is lived. That's satsangat. Everything else is a club. Everything else is a party. Not meditation. Not satsangat. satgur na sayvay so kaahe-aa. Very rhetorical question. He says, okay, you don't want to do this? Fine, I accept that. You don't want to do this. Then tell me, why shouldn't you be a dog or a cat? Why should you be a human? Answer me that question. Satgur na sayvay so kaahe-aa. Then why are you born as a human? Well, that wasn't my choice. Hold it. It was your choice. You may not remember it, but it was your choice, because you did promise that you now want to get out of the cycle of life and death. That's why you were given this body. And if you are not going to do what this body was given for, then you tell me, is there any other reason why you should be born as a human? And the answer will be none whatsoever. Because you would tell me one thing that you are doing that animal cannot do. Satgur na sevay so kahe aaya, trig jeevan birtha janam gavaa-i-aa. Then you have wasted one opportunity. Birtha janam, you wasted. Janam means the birth. You have wasted one opportunity. You have lost it. Why have you lost it? Manmukh naam chitane aave, bin naame bhaa-o paavni-aa. You are following whatever comes to your mind. Manmukh, you are following your mind. You are not following your spirit. Whatever the mind says, let's do it. You regret it afterwards, but you do it anyway. And you are not remembering him. Manmukh naam chitane aave. It doesn't even occur to you that I need to feed my spirit. It is mind-boggling that a human will not forget to feed the dog and a cat who are pet in the house, but they will forget to feed their own soul. Because they can see a dog and cat dying out of starvation, they cannot see the spirit completely going dormant, deeper, deeper, deeper. What Freud called subconsciousness. It keeps on getting suppressed further, further and further away from the conscious mind because you never feed it. You never remember. I have seen people getting into accidents because they were rushing home because the dog was left outside the house. Forgot to put the water for the cat. We feel no urgency that I have not looked at my soul for so many, not days, not months, but years. You just pay no attention. Completely oblivious of what we are doing to ourselves. The very energy which is making us alive, the very energy who's taking the breath inside us, who's breathing? Is the body breathing? Can anybody say the body is breathing? When somebody dies, the body is completely there with all the equipment. What went away? That which was the one breathing, that went away. And that is the only thing we forget. Very conveniently. Because its nature is not to complain. Its nature is not to cry. A dog and a cat will cry and will let you know. Soul inside you will not cry. Again, the human mind will revolt. The woman revolts. You are putting too much burden on me. Why? Just a few moments ago, someone was saying the man should deliver a baby to know how much a woman suffers at the time of delivery. Okay, when you go there, make sure he makes that possible. Who has done this? Here is the answer. Jin srishta saji soi jane. Why it is, the way it is not known to humanity, male or female. Master or the teacher, scientist or the mystic, they will never know this secret. Who knows the secret? Jin Sist Saji, the one who created the creation. Jin, the one, Sist, the creation, Saji, created. The one who created it is the only one with the answer to this secret. So forget about wondering. Surrender and say, thy will be done. You gave me a female body and you gave me certain functions. I am going to honor every single one of them. Because if he didn't give the man the uterus, he didn't also give him the breast to feed the baby. Those glands are not there. The delivery and the sustenance go together. The one who delivers is the one who sustains. Surrender. To whom? Jin Sith Saji Soi Jane. He is the only one who knows. And we are back to square one. Wait a minute, you again said he. Why isn't she? Well, okay, if you are so happy, keep on saying she, because she is as wrong as he is. He is neither he nor a she. It is just a convenience of the language. It's just a label. It's a pure energy. Has no physical characteristics. I heard somebody say, God has all the human characteristics. Can you imagine if you go with that thought? What will happen? He has all the human characteristics. Well, first thing, kiss the virgin birth goodbye. Right? He's a human. She's a human. She is pregnant. He made him. Forget the concept of virgin birth. Has anybody seen him? Ever? A scientist or a mystic? For the 13.7 billion years of creation history, has anybody, scientist or otherwise, seen a physical form? What did Moses see? When he was talking directly according to the Hollywood version of 10 Commandments. Was God standing in front of him? No. What was it? A light. A burning bush, which was not burning the plant, but appeared like bright light. That's the only place in the entire scripture, set of scriptures, where a face-to-face is mentioned, and that too in the form of an energy, in the form of a light. In the Abrahamic story, the mention is only a sound energy heard by Abraham. In Mohammedan text, it is the angel who is speaking the message. Now, if you are still going to insist that he has all the physical characteristics, then God help you. Because you have completely closed the thinking part of your brain. You have only left the believing part of your brain. Thinking part is shut off. You're not going to find these answers. Genesis Saji Soi Jane. He is the only one who knows it. Ape mele shabd pashane. Those who experience this energy is only through his grace, blessing, a prasad, नानक नाम मिलिया तिन जन को जिन तुर मस्तक लेख likhaavani-aa. It is the result of the choices way back from the previous lives which has manifested completely in this life that you are now able to actually experience him from within. Turmastak. It is not the result of whatever you are doing only in this life. It is carrying the energy from your entire journey. You have been accumulating drop by drop by drop in every birth. If you have been blessed in this life, don't think it is something because you did it. It's because His grace, His blessing. So that is the hymn on page 129. According to the allotted time, we will take a pause here. I want to thank you all for coming. As usual, if anything I said, something that disturbed anybody, I sincerely apologize for that. It was not intentional. And if something touched you, it is a grace, blessing, prasad from the beyond. Take it as His message, not mine. So now if there are any comments or questions, the lines are still open.